we have a fight that everybody wants to see get made, but for whatever reason isn't coming to fruition, and that's with Kell Brook and Amir Khan. I know that you had just mentioned the other day that you felt as if Khan's sort of pricing himself out. Now, from what I've read so far, Eddie Hearn is trying to get it to where it's a 70-30 split, but 70 to the winner, 30 to the loser. What do you make of that? And I guess Amir not being okay with that.
I think it's a dodgy one, that one, 70 to the winner, 30 to the loser. I don't know if it's fair for a start, because the fighters don't quite know. I mean, they go into the ring thinking they're going to win, but anything can happen.
Especially if it goes to the scorecards, the judges.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
Well, if it doesn't go to the score, somebody gets knocked out or gets cut and the fight gets stopped. There's so many, intangibles that can happen in a boxing ring that you can't really equate. 70-30 is such a, it's more than double. It's not like one person gets £1, the other person gets like over £2, and it's just not right. It's not right. So I think they need to come to an agreement that favours Amir Khan, because Amir Khan is the bigger name, is the more international name, is more known on the global scale. But Kell Brook's world champion, and he's.
But if he fights Amir Khan, he actually won't have the title anymore. He'd have to vacate because his mandatory is Errol Spence. So technically, he won't have the title anymore. He won't be a world champ.
He's still a world champion in negotiations. But I know what you're saying. Khan's still the bigger name. So Khan does edge the favour in terms of the value of the fight, the value he brings to the fight. But let's not forget, Khan's been ironed out a couple of times. Kell Brook's never been flattened. This is a fight that everybody wants to see. They're both going to make good money from it. So I think Khan should just bend a little bit. I mean, I'm probably not one to talk about splits, because when I fought George Groves, I was on the better side of the 80-20 split, but it was different. I was champion and he was challenging me for my title in a rematch that he wasn't mandatory. So that's just how that worked out. But the 70-30 is unfair. I think maybe 60-40 in Amir Khan's favour for me is more reasonable, or maybe what he's talking about, the 60 to the winner of the fight. So I agree, 60-40, but the winner gets the 60% maybe. I don't know. But for me at the minute, I'm just disappointed with Amir Khan, and I think that it looks like he's trying to price himself out of the fight, which is it's bad for boxing, it's bad for the fight itself.
Based on their last performances, would you say that Kell Brook is, I don't know, the odds are higher in his. The odds are higher for him that he would win that fight against Amir Khan?
I know exactly what you're saying, but I'm not going to change my opinion from what I've said from day one, and it's nothing against Amir Khan. I think Kell Brook knocks out Amir Khan. And I think what's happened of late with Khan, getting ironed out a few times, he's been knocked out now, and the Garcia knockout was a bad one. I think even more so now, if Kell Brook catches him with some shots, it could be curtains. I've always said Khan to win on points, or Kell Brook to knock out Amir Khan. That's the decision. That's going to be the result. It's going to be one of them, and I think it's the knockout win for Kell Brook. That's what I think. Even more so of late. And you see how tough Brook was against Golovkin. He went out on his feet, still calling him on, and you've seen Amir Khan get wiped out a couple of times. And I just think that's how it's going to end.
Right. Is it disappointing to say that we may never actually see this fight come into fruition? I mean, the longer that we wait, anything can happen. An injury, somebody could be permanently out of the game. Do you think it's just smart to do it now? It's like now or never.
I think the fight should happen. If it's going to happen, it should happen now. It should have happened a long time ago, actually, because now both the fighters have been beat. I think it's lost that sting. I think a while ago you could have maybe said we use Wembley now as the benchmark for big fights in Britain. Obviously, Joshua's fighting Klitschko at Wembley, and I think if you want to talk about big fights happening at Wembley Stadium, Amir Khan and Kell Brook was a Wembley fight. I don't think it is now. I might be wrong, but you announce that tomorrow. Does it sell out? Does it sell out straight away? Is it so big? Khan's been beat, and I know he went out on his shield. Amir Khan's been ironed out, and he's not had a world title for I don't know how long. It won't be for a title, so it's lost that edge for me. It's still a big fight. It's still a Sky Sports pay-per-view box office fight. It's still big, but it's not as big as it was. So yeah, you're right. The longer this drags on and doesn't happen, the more chance it's got of going away. But it's not going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's because of Amir Khan, which is disappointing. Yeah. I think that he needs to just sort it out and get this fight made.
Right. All right, we're going to go because there's people fighting over Carl. All right, people need to speak with you. Bye, Fight fans. Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking right here.